Alright, the time has come where we must talk about this abomination against humanity. We all know this movie's bad, but before we do, I want to give you an example of a more compelling love story than the one you'll find in 50 Shades Freed. It's a little short film I directed 3 minutes ago before making this video, and I call it Fist the Big Green. Yeah, I don't know, Hulk, you're a nice guy and all, but maybe a little too big and green for me, if you know what I'm saying. This movie's about two boring and unlikable people who have one-dimensional personalities who go places and do things such as make softcore porn, blah blah blah, this movie sucks, it's a piece of shit. These movies are essentially socially acceptable softcore porn made for people to watch and not feel like perverts or odd for liking them. And that's okay, but my advice to you is just go to the internet, watch that 7-minute video because it has a better story and better character development than the one you'll find in this movie. And real quick, before things get too crazy in my playroom, I wanted to let you guys know about an awesome app called Stardust. It's an app where I've been putting my first reactions to every new movie or TV show that I watch. Now, a lot of you have already followed me on Stardust, but this is the place I've been posting my first reactions, my quick thoughts to movies old or new for the last few months now. And for example, this is where I posted my first thoughts on the movie 50 Shades Freed the night it came out.
Hey, Hulk, I don't know if we should be doing this at night. You know, you're a big green guy.
It's social media for people who just like movies and TV shows without all the other crap. I'll put the link to Stardust down below and make sure you follow me, the Flick Pick, on Stardust. Now, I remember a few years back watching the first 50 Shades of Grey film and thinking to myself, how could this get any worse? But it did. And in all seriousness, when you clicked this video, you weren't expecting me to like this movie or say anything profound about this movie that you haven't heard already. These are just my thoughts on a terrible movie, a terrible franchise that's simply made as a cash grab. There's no artistic value or substance to this movie. And when they wrote the script for this film, they had no intention of making a quality cinematic experience for people like you and I. No, they wanted to make trash. And that's really upsetting. It almost disgusts me. Now, with all that said, let's talk about the aspect of this movie which everything else hinges on, and that is the sex scenes that go down throughout this film. And they're all pretty boring to watch. They're almost tedious and monotonous. And when you have a character who's a billionaire, who has a dark side with mommy issues, and he has a playroom with whips and chains and everything you can imagine, you would imagine some entertaining, erotic stuff would happen in these movies. Nope. There's nothing entertaining about the sex scenes in this film. They're underwhelming, to say the least, and you could at least have that in a terrible movie. That would get people talking. That would get the audience excited and the juices flowing. But in all seriousness, I want to talk about something else. I want to talk about love. I want to talk about when a man loves a woman. You don't take that for granted. Time is a precious commodity. You can't buy it, you can't sell it, and once it's gone forever. And with that said, I'm going to take this and put it up here. It's sort of underwhelming when you have a movie based on sex and they can't even make the sex entertaining to watch. It's a letdown. If you guys want to see good sex scenes that are erotic and over the top and a little bit edgy and just raunchy, just go watch movies like Basic Instinct. I remember the first time I watched that movie, I was 8 years old and I watched it at 3 o'clock in the morning on HBO. It made me the man I am today. I would even say the love scene between Jack and Rose in the movie Titanic with the steamy hand on the window, that was more erotic than anything you'll see in 50 Shades Freed. Now, I will say the best thing about this film is it is the final film in the franchise, which is a good thing. Now, here are my final flicking thoughts on 50 Shades of Shit. This movie is not a real movie. I don't know what to call this. I want to say it's softcore porn, but that gives a bad name to softcore porn. We'll just call this an abomination against humanity, starring two mannequins who give terrible performances while mumbling lines off a script that should have never been written, and nothing happens in this movie. This is a movie about nothing. It's just two characters that you don't like and don't care about going place to place. They make love a few times, you're bored by it, and in the last 15 minutes of the movie, they try to shoehorn in a kidnapped stalker story, and then they give you 38 seconds of character development about the character of Christian Grey. So I'm going to give this movie an F, and can you guess what the F stands for? That's right. Ugh! That felt good. So yeah, 50 Shades of Freed gets an F. It's a terrible movie, it's a terrible franchise, and it's a detriment to everything creative or that has any substance in Hollywood. It's a letdown that millions of dollars get tossed at things like this. That's my take on this movie. Now here's my question for you, and let me know down below if you've seen this movie, and I hope you never do, but if you did, let me know what you thought about it down below. And before I go, since I mentioned Stardust earlier, I wanted to share with you guys some of your reactions on the app Stardust to the movie 50 Shades Freed, because I like you guys and I want to show you off my channel. But once again, you guys can download Stardust. It's completely free. It's an awesome place to go give your reactions to movies, TV shows, old or new. You can watch them or you can post your own. And with that said, I'm going to play your reactions right now.
Hey y'all, so just saw 50 Shades Freed. Lord Jesus, please forgive me for seeing that movie in theaters.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Movie, what are we doing? Like, seriously, what are we doing here? I mean, God, this was like the most ADD movie I have seen in such a long time. I really do like to give movies the benefit of the doubt, but this one just could not keep focus to save its life. Gorgeous cinematography and good music, actors were trying.
I don't think anyone was trying.
My first ever reactions, all I said was my relationship with the movie is about as complicated as the relationship in the movies, and that's pretty much still true. I mean, I know it's terrible, poorly written, problematic. This new one was no exception. It's more of the same, but just curiosity gets the best of me. I can't look away. It's like a car crash. The world's sexiest car crash.
Once again, make sure you download Stardust. The link is down below, and make sure you follow me, the Flick Pick, and if you do so, I will share some of your reactions in upcoming videos on my channel, so you can see your face right here beside mine. Link down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe. That way, I can see you next time.